Bros Play! You know what you always forget when you're watching a Let's Play is the feeling of being in the room, which is not as good. Like it's less fun to be in the room than it is to be watching the show later, because it's hot and there's no airflow. And
I always forget about it being hot. That's so true.
Anyway, we were talking about something at the end of the last episode.
I'm talking about the horny dragon for sure.
Oh, doing art.
Oh, and the Thanos thing.
Yeah.
Shoot a star at him.
Oh, I can. Wow.
Okay, this makes a lot more sense.
So the really cool thing of watching Avatar is that I've been doing a lot of art myself, and now I'm watching this really well animated show, and it's so cool to see that they follow that a lot of the principles that I've heard from a lot of other YouTube people, and one of them is drawing things from the intended viewing angle rather than zooming in. So you'll see a character from far away, and they're there we go. They've been drawn with the same size pencil than when they were close up. Like the lines are the same thickness, even though the character is further away.
Which you would think is wrong at first.
Yeah, at first, but it looks really good when you actually do it right. You'd think you'd want to get zoomed right in there and make sure this character is super high detail, but all you're seeing of them is their figure or their silhouette. So that's really all you need to stipulate on.
Yeah, especially, that was dope. That was really well done. Especially when you think about how many frames are necessary for a movie.
Overwhelming.
He got you with one of the back spikes that time.
It's seriously overwhelming. Animation is definitely on my it's on the docket for 2020. But,
yeah?
Oh, absolutely. But that was what the art was all about. But when I do it, because I'm doing it on my own and I'm not an expert, I'm not going to be doing fully articulated very often, at least, unless the joke is really fucking good.
Right, so yours will be more representative, like shapes of characters, mouth flaps, rather than...
Yeah, well, I think most of it's going to be like mostly still moving, or when a character moves across the screen, they're just moved across the screen rather than fully animated while they walk, that kind of stuff. Shortcuts that I can easily replicate.
Easy replication is huge. I mean, how many frames you got to make, right?
What the fuck?
Yeah, that was not supposed to happen like that.
Just God of War that guy.
Just gout him right out.
Gow.
This is an unusual boss. I think it's cool that you fought him you had to like run away from him during the level.
I love this. I love how I figured it out. Wow, like there's no words. I figured it all out. Something that basically the only bad thing about Doom Eternal is that it just doesn't teach you right. It just stops you to say, look, you got the plasma rifle, and when you use it on shields, it makes them explode. And it's like, that's fucking cool, man. But could that not have been done in a different way? Like,
it also it's just a different demographic it's made for.
But Doom is made for mature people. You shouldn't be a child.
I've noticed, though, that mature means that someone needs to be an adult. It doesn't mean they need to be mature.
Well, no. If you're playing Doom, you probably aren't.
Because, and this is what it comes down to. I know a lot of adults that are just kind of inept when it comes to that, to figuring out how things work. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think it's right. I just think that's what they're aiming for, I guess, is for the people who are old enough to see boobs and violence, but are just too thick to do the type of basic processing you're doing right now.
I think old enough to see boobs may be the best age.
Well, what is old enough to see boobs? As soon as you get your phone these days?
Alcohol and driving and stuff, those are important, but
seeing boobs is way more important.
Seriously.
Yeah, let's get that straight. This is really messy how you can actually, like, rope to a fireball.
Fuck's sakes.
Shit.
I have to double tap. That's what I had. That's my problem.
So you hit him twice?
You gotta double tap. Ooh, you gotta double tap. Also, have you seen the second Zombieland? Double Tap
No.
would have come out 2019, I think.
No, I haven't seen the second Zombieland.
It's really good. It's an example of what you should do with a sequel, which is not make it for a long time until you have a good sense of what you're going to do with it, and you've made sure that the right people are coming back for the project. Because I'm pretty sure it's the same 4 characters. The one girl, I think because she was a girl, or like a little girl 10 years ago, it was kind of hard to recognize if she was exactly the same actor, but Eisenberg, Stone, and Harrelson are all back, so that was really good.
That's awesome.
And
Well,
it's even with the amount of time they spent before making another one, it still kind of struggled with new ideas. Like, so it's a good example that you should wait, because ideas, you run out of ideas.
this is a really shitty setup. I'm almost thinking you should try and direct where he cuts holes in it.
Sure.
But he's flashing red, so that's got to mean he's close.
Yep.
He's getting there. Yeah, I'll have to watch Zombieland 2 again. I've been on a bit of a movie kick recently. I find TV shows can sometimes be daunting, where it's just okay, now I've got 12 episodes per season at 4 seasons left to go.
I like TV shows.
Stars. Choose all your fucking stars.
Oh, I did it.
Hopefully. Wow. Hopefully.
What I like about shows is that I can just keep watching them, and I just like this thing that I keep coming back to.
You just hit play.
Yeah, but I definitely get into movies more. I like movies on weekends. That was fucking Upgrade.
Oh my god, yeah, that was. I watched that one too. That was a dope movie. Oh, for real.
Yeah, Upgrade was so fucking good, man. If the ending of your movie isn't good, if there's no point to the ending, then there's no point to the movie.
Yes.
Because a story has to end. You know this when you start writing it. So,
you should.
Yes. These are not secrets. So, while the journey is definitely important, this destination is not the only thing in a story. It's something that you have to consider when you're making your story. It's an inevitable feature, unless you want to be The Simpsons and just never fucking stop. But even then, it's going to stop probably. So there needs to be a reason for the whole thing to have happened, and it needs to be consistent with what you were doing and the reason for the whole journey. And
well, I also just think that there's something about an ending where it needs to be believable, even if it's not what someone wants. Because you look at Deus Ex Machina, that is not how I wanted that movie to end. In fact, it scared the shit out of me the way that movie ends.
I have not seen it.
What's that?
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen Deus Ex Machina?
No.
Oh my god.
With Isaac Oskik?
Or no, it's called Ex Machina. That's right.
Right.
I was fucking that one
yes,
up. But
there's also Deus Ex, which
yes,
is 2 separate things.
But so yeah, Ex Machina was a fantastic movie, and it ended similarly, where you realize oh yeah, the AI doesn't care about us. It doesn't want to live in harmony with humans. It doesn't even want to be nice to us.
That is so cool that you bring that up, because I wanted to bring this up anyway. So before Poppy, before Poppy made her giant jump into pop punk metal music, she was more of a pop music singer. But even then, she had an edge, and she's got this song called "Time Is Up," where she's a robot girl that wakes up in a laboratory, and she's talking about the realizations that a robot would have, a sentient creature that's been created and now enslaved by somebody at the same time. But right after that, her next realization is that when the human beings are done destroying all the bees and the trees and drying up all the fucking lakes and cutting a hole in the atmosphere, that she's gonna survive that. and that human beings are just going to wipe themselves out.
Oh, so she doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah, so she's just, baby,
Oh my God.
baby, your time is up. But it's just such like there's so much attitude in that song. I fucking love it. Like, this character wakes up and she's a victim, and then her next realization is, oh, yeah, you're just gonna do this to everything.
Yep. Well, that's why it's
Dumb
so.
fucks.
That's what's so weird about our society is just like, do you want any of the things that make our society our society? Yes, I do. Okay, well then you must destroy everything around you. 'Cause that is just the way it goes.
Not required, but our systems are definitely designed right now to consume without adding.
I just meant that even in the sense of like, imagine if ants had colonized the entire planet in these like macroscopic nests or whatever they call them, fucking anthills. Like, think about how much they destroy their environment, right? Where they
That's
just
true, yeah.
like create these mounds that have zero use. And in fact, the mound that they build makes it take longer for them to get to their resources because they have to go up to the top of it and climb down it to get to where their food is.
Interesting.
Right? So it's like, no matter what you are, if you want to create a society or like a big group of your species, you have to destroy everything around you. That's just life.
Yeah, we can definitely find a better balance, though.
Oh yeah, we could do it better than we're doing it now. You don't have to pour poison into the environment for virtually no reason.
But it's more fun, though.
It's a lot easier. And it's like, yes, no, we don't have to put coal into the atmosphere, but we never would have discovered solar without coal. So there's also that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a cool thing that artists do, though, is they make you think in a way that a documentary never would. Right? They put it in the right words.
Yeah.
They make it provocative.
Documentaries usually aren't artistic.
Yes, and they're often very doom and gloom. Like, how many documentaries are not about horrible things?
Actually, I just finished watching a great limited series called High Score about the origins of video games and the really important ones that sets the stage for the other ones that you know.
So that was good. I saw that on there.
It's fucking narrated by Charles Martinet.
Sorry, I don't know him.
Mario? Ever heard of him?
The plumber? I mean, come on.
Man who plums, now voice acts.
That's funny. Okay, so Charles Martinet is the Mario voice.
Yeah. He doesn't do the wahoos or anything. Although they occasionally do talk about Mario games and he just like doesn't mention that he's
Just
also
pretends. Yeah,
Mario,
that's funny.
Yeah. It's really fucking good. It talks about the, characters like not characters, but the important people that establish things in times where nobody had thought of it before. Like Doom. You know fucking revolutionary Doom was?
Yeah, at the time, like the first 3D game.
It was the first, I think, fully 3D game. There were like wireframe games at the time that were
I've seen those.
They were being developed at a very similar time.
So it's like perspective based.
Yeah, well,
I guess Doom was perspective based too.
The revolutionary thing about Doom though is that everything moves towards the player. The player doesn't actually move through three-dimensional space.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
It's a pretty wild concept, which is not how we do it now. But
well, and the guy who made the original Doom is still making them.
Yeah, John Romero, and something Carmack, I think is his name.
Yeah, something Carmack.
He's super into heavy metal, which is why there's such a heavy metal influence.
That's awesome.
He came up with the name Doom from a Tom Cruise movie, where Tom Cruise brings his own pool cue, and the guy goes, "What do you got in there?" And he looks down at it, looks up and smiles and says, "Doom."
That's cute.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's all it takes, right? Is like a single line of inspiration.
Yeah. What's crazy about Doom 2 is that the guys who made it was 5 guys that actually, or 5 people, I don't know if they're all dudes. 5 people made the final version of the game after the anticipation of the game already existed. Like it was like a demo or something like that. So everybody was hyped about this game, and they were like, "Oh shit, we have to make it still."
That's so funny.
They hadn't made it yet.
Oh my god! Well, thank God it came out the way they were hoping it would.
Fuck. So at the time, the 2 dudes who came up with the idea, they were making games for a subscription service. Look at this fucking blue ass. He's little hearts.
He's not as horny anymore.
Well, now he is. It's just.
We shall call this episode the Less Horny Dragon.
Puff the less horny dragon.
No way. They're going to put you right into another fight now?
Maybe.
Oh, unless he's about to send you to hell. Yeah.
Okay. They were making video games for a subscription service where you got a floppy disk once a month with a bunch of fucking games. And there was no quality assurance, and they didn't tell you what you were getting, and that's what you got. You just better just be fucking happy.
That would have been awesome, though.
Because in 1991 or 2, playing video games on a PC was pretty much not done. Like, it was not the standard, and it wasn't really looked at as a gaming device. It was like I guess you could.
Yeah, because like basically DOS were the common PC games, right? Those like you walk into a forest and do you want to go left or right? Yeah.
Yes. And there definitely still were PC games at the time, but the NES was out at the same time, and it was doing so much better than the graphics you could get on a PC. Which is what's so wild is that nowadays people know PCs as being the powerful ones, right?
Right, the ones where all of the graphical. Oh, that's a one shot?
I guess so. It's lava.
Yeah, it's weird that there was a period in time where console gamers would look down on PC gamers, and now it's kind of flipped.
Yeah.
But also, the thing about a PC gamer is like you really got to be ready to invest if you're gonna play PC games.
You gotta have money.
Yeah, you gotta have some cash money, and you gotta be willing to put it, frequently towards your computer. Especially in the last 10 years, I feel like we've now gotten to a point where you can get a pretty dope computer that'll run most of the games coming out.
Here's the problem, though. It's actually a game. It's a race. Not a race. It's a borderline scam. So companies like just make up a company name for
Univision.
That's probably a real thing.
Maybe.
It's definitely a real thing.
All right, Ubivision.
Oh, that's pretty close. I don't know about that.
All right, Actisoft.
Oh, I like that.
All I was doing is taking other names and mashing them together.
What is it in BoJack? Trader Joe's, Viacom, Walmart, Pepsi Cola.
Oh yeah.
What the fuck is this?
This is clever.
I thought they were enemies for a bit there. It's just a whack-a-mole game.
I like it. So you gotta be coordinated.
Anyway, so-and-so company name. Woo! Make some new bullshit, something that doesn't need to be in video game graphics, like extra super tessellation nutsacks. And
the most tessellated nutsacks on the market.
Exactly, yeah. So then they go to a company like, let's say, nutsack makers of Europe, and they're like, we're making a game, and they're like, that's great, we don't care about your art, but can you put extra tessellation on your nutsacks? And they're like, sure, but what you'll do for me? And they're like, oh, well, we'll pay you fucking money, and then we'll be dishonest about the fact that your game runs best on our machine, as if that's some sort of coincidence. So games recommend specific graphics cards.
Oh, that's true. They do, because they don't always give you specs, but they say like, we recommend 2 gigs of dedicated RAM on an NVIDIA XYZ.
Sure. Yeah.
Right.
So that's no coincidence. That's not like, well, it's just a great fucking tractor, so we went with John Deere. It's like, I don't know if John Deere tractors are good. Are they good?
No, they're popular.
They're green and yellow. I like that.
Yeah. Case makes some pretty popular tractors too.
Case?
Yeah, Case. Like CASE, like a case of beer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You want to talk about tractors, brother, and fertilization? And
the extra tessellation on the ball sack didn't have to happen. They did it to sell the graphics card that didn't need to exist. So you're playing a game from 2006, and it runs totally fine. And then you play a game from 2016 that looks basically just like it, but doesn't seem to run but runs very poorly on your machine. And it's because there's all this ball sack tessellation, and you're like, can I turn it off? And they're like, why would we let you turn that off?
Right, because you have to go and get the new card.
Right.
In order to make
which is why I mean, there's a couple reasons why, but what I've been really doing recently is fixating on older games for a couple reasons. One, gameplay used to come first not graphics and other stupid nonsense like.
Well, people used to
microtransactions.
actually be gamers, and now they're just people who play games. And I feel like they have different motivations.
Definitely, the motivations have definitely changed. That's for sure. But it's become cool too. So people are playing games because they're cool. When it used to be totally not cool.
Yeah.
Like you and I grew up when video game. Like you didn't even bring up video games with people because they were like, this is fucking weirdo.
Yeah, you talk with your friends in like that play, and that's it.
In hushed tones.
Yeah,
too.
and you do not bring it up around females.
No, because they'll say like, this guy, like, is there like blood and stuff?
Well, and mostly because they would be like, okay, well, I'm definitely not dating this guy.
Yes, those are fully rationalized, out loud things that females say to themselves.
Yeah, I just think it's the same as there was like sports buddies as well that you would like mention a video game, and they're just like the Habs. Just right over their head.
Yeah, unless it's fucking NHL of that year.
Oh my god, I had some buddies that got so into NHL.
I had some buddies who call it Chell.
I was gonna say they call it Chell. Yeah,
I love that.
It's really common.
It's one of my favorite things.
Oh man.
But anyway, older games. Oh, did I unlock a thing?
Oh, that's kind of unnecessary. It doesn't really skip very much.
Look at this little skip I do. This little Family Guy jaunt. The little doop doop boop boop.
I believe we call that flying in the business. You remind me of Will Smith's character from Wild Wild West when he plays the belly dancer.
I was really just hoping that the joke would be funnier the longer I held on to it.
Yeah, what the hell is the point of that?
Specifically designed to get on my tits.
That little door, yeah, that's what it's for. It's the tits door.
It's the tits door. This is the tits. That's the door.
Honestly, when I said it, I was like, did I say door or store? Because that'd be a weird store.
The tit store?
Yeah, the tit store.
They
I believe
have
they call
those.
that plastic surgery.
Yeah, exactly. You don't buy them off a shelf though.
Hi, I would like to buy some tits.
Yeah, hi. No.
Dude, this section has been giving you a real trouble.
I don't know what I'm
I
supposed
think you got to go to that wall. Nope.
Oh,
Go to
you
the
know what I
wall.
need to do is I need to grab onto this and do that and do that. Because then
Sure.
this guy's like, excuse me? I was blowing fireballs over here, you fuck.
Just spit and fire.
Straight spit and fire.
Straight fire.
All right, but old games, I keep trying to finish this sentence.
Oh, this is why you play old games.
They also run well. Even the fucking remake of Destroy All Humans was rated for an i5 CPU.
Which is nothing.
It's old.
I could
It's
probably
old
run that
biz.
on my crappy
and it's because they knew,
commercial
it's
laptop.
because the people who made it were like, yeah, we don't need all that tessellation, man. Like, in fact, there is tessellation in that game, which you can turn off.
That to me, that's the number one thing. Can I turn it off? And if I can't turn it off, then I'm annoyed.
Well, I mean, you're just annoyed though. You're just an annoyed little white boy.
You are just so pampered.
Yeah, seriously, and it's your fault too. Not the people who raised you or the generation from before you. It's definitely yours and my fault that the economy is in a situation where we can't afford
Anything.
a $50,000 down payment on a home. That's definitely our fault. We did that to the economy as children.
Oh man, it's
It's just like I bought my home when I was 25, and it's like, yeah, but there was also cholera, and
there was cholera. I bought my home for 7 nickels and a shiny dollar.
it's like the shiny dollars are worth more.
Oh yeah, shiny dollar's worth at least $1.50.
Okay, all right. Next time we'll die 203 times.
Undoubtedly.